you state and spell your full legal name?
Jereme Townsend, JeremetownSend.
Please raise your right hand. I'll swear you in. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that any testimony you give today shall be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Okay. All right, thank you. Please proceed.
Please introduce yourself to the jury.
Jereme Townsend.
Now, Mr. Townsend, a couple of questions up front. Do you currently have an attorney?
Yes.
And when did you retain?
January 2022.
Prior to retaining an attorney, had you spoken with law enforcement?
Yes.
About the matters of this case?
Yes.
And had you spoken with them multiple times prior to retaining an attorney?
Yes.
And why did you retain an attorney in this matter?
When my name came out as part of this case, my wife and I felt that we would retain an attorney to help us through the process, help us understand the legal side of this.
But you were willing to talk to law enforcement on multiple occasions before ever doing so?
Yes.
And you responded to all requests to speak with officers?
Yes.
Have you ever been in the military?
Yes.
And first of all, what branch?
United States Army.
And when did you serve?
Served from 1998 to 2003.
And why did you leave the military?
I was shot 3 times in Afghanistan and was almost killed. Was medical retired out.
And the jury has seen photographs that have been shared between yourself and Ms. Shaver already, some of them full body shots. Where were you shot?
Through both my legs, and one right through my side.
Now, do you know Laurie Shaver?
I do.
How did you meet her?
I met her at one of the public parks.
And about when did you first meet her?
September 2015.
And what were you doing at the park?
I had my son there.
Are you married?
Yes.
How long have you been married?
16 years.
How old was your child at that time?
About 5.
And what was the kind of home-work relationship? Wife work, did you work during this time frame? What was going on there?
My wife works. I'm retired out of the military.
And when you met Ms. Shaver at the park, did she have any of her children there?
She had her son.
And did you all begin some sort of, did you chat with her? Did you start some sort of relationship? What kind of developed from there?
She approached me and asked if it was okay if her son played with my son.
Do you see her in the courtroom here today?
I do.
Can you point her out and identify her by something that she's wearing?
She's wearing a black shirt with white
Which seat is she sitting
next to Mr. Wiggs.
in? And when you would communicate with her, would she call you Jeremy or would she call you something else?
Jay.
After that first time you met her at the park, did you see her again?
Yes.
And was that also at the park or was that at another location?
It was at the park.
At some point, did you all exchange phone numbers?
Yes.
And when approximately was that?
About the 3rd time I met her.
Did you all exchange text messages and phone calls?
Text messages.
After starting to text back and forth, at some point did a physical relationship begin?
Yes.
And Ms. Shaver?
Yes.
About when did that happen?
First week of December 2015.
How often would you see her?
1 to 3 times a week.
And when would these visits occur?
It would occur during her lunch break,
Did
which
you
would,
work at home?
yes,
And when you would go during the lunch break, were her kids there?
no,
Where was your son when you would go over to the house?
in school.
Did you ever go over to her residence and spend the night during this time frame?
No,
During any point in your relationship, did you spend the night over at her house?
no,
And we've discussed the fact that you were married at that time. Is it fair to say your wife did not know about these occurrences?
Objection, Judge. It's opinion, testimony, speculating about his wife's understanding and factual state of mind.
I'll rephrase, Judge.
It's all right. Did you have knowledge of it? Did you know whether your wife knew or not?
my wife did not know.
You definitely didn't tell her.
No,
Objection, leading.
All right, overruled. Please move on.
Had you stayed out overnight and spent time away when your wife was around, that would raise suspicions. Is that fair?
correct.
It's leading, Judge.
Sustained.
Were you trying to avoid raising your wife's suspicions?
Yes,
Did she tell you about her marital status?
yes,
And what did she tell you?
that she was going through a divorce.
Did she tell you her husband's name?
Michael Shaver.
Did she tell you where he was?
She said that he had left with a friend in a vehicle.
Okay. And when did that happen in relation to when you started this physical relationship with her?
When she told me that Michael had moved out, that was November 2015.
And so the time frame that you started going to the house was after that.
It was the first week of December.
During the course of the affair, would you exchange text messages, phone calls, and photographs?
Yes,
And during this time frame, what was the status of your marriage?
my wife and I were not in a good place. We were kind of going back and forth if we were going to stay or get a divorce.
Was there ever a time that Laurie Shaver expressed to you that she wanted you to leave your wife to be with her?
Yes,
And was that what you wanted?
no,
Did there ever come a time in February of 2016 where Laurie Shaver was upset with you about your status with your wife and your refusal to leave the marriage?
yes,
And during that time frame, were there text messages about that?
yes,
Showing you what's been previously been marked for identification, show defense, states QQ. states QQ, which is an excerpt from the Facebook records already in evidence from Michael Shaver. Do you recognize those text messages?
Yes.
And first of all, how do you recognize those text messages?
Laurie sent those to me.
And does it include communications with you and her back and forth?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, the state's removed states QQ into evidence. The state's
45, I believe.
Same objection, Jack.
Okay, objection is overruled. State's QQ will be entered into evidence of state's number 45.
going to go ahead and publish. Go ahead and refer to the exhibit that you have there. First of all, there's a couple phone numbers on here. On that first page where it says receiver 352-431-01419, whose number was that?
I don't recognize it.
Okay. Well, what about 352-613-4100?
That's mine.
Okay. And these are all text messages. You recognize the messages from the content as being between you and Ms. Shaver?
Yes.
Okay. And the first message that I want to draw your attention to is on the first page, February 23rd, 2016. Was that a message from Laurie Shaver to you?
Yes.
And up top there in the white, this is one at 10:17 p.m. What was the content of her message to you?
Why did you lie to me?
Okay.
That one?
Yes.
Yes.
Go ahead and read the whole thing.
Why did you lie to me about Saturday night?
And then moving on to the next page, 10:03:48 p.m., still February 23rd, 2016. What was the content of the message you received from Ms. Shaver there?
No wonder why you shaved your beard.
Okay. And what about the first message, the 10:03:48 on the bottom?
The neighbors.
Yeah, that statement.
Yeah, neighbors my
You can go ahead and say it.
neighbors my ass.
And when she's talking about neighbors my ass and no wonder why you shaved your beard, what is she referring to there?
I had shaved my beard completely off. I had a little smaller beard, kind of like yours, and shaved it all off. And she was saying that her neighbors could vouch for the affair.
Okay. Going on to the next page, at 10:08:45 p.m. On the bottom in the gray, what is the message that she sends to you there?
Nice wedding ring. Thought you didn't wear that anymore.
What is she referring to there?
I had my wedding ring I had put back on. Had a picture with my wife. It was posted on Facebook.
And did this cause arguments between you and Laurie Shaver?
Yes.
And that was in late February of 2016.
Yes.
Sometime after that, did you learn that your wife found out about the affair?
Yes.
And how did that come about?
My wife contacted me April 12th, 2016. She had received flowers.
And then did that expose the relationship between yourself and Laurie Shaver to her?
Not at first, because she asked me who Mike was.
Okay.
And I did not know who a Mike was. Once she checked her Facebook and seen the messages from Mike, it started to come out.
And that was when?
April 2016.
At any point when you were over at the Shaver residence, was Michael Shaver there?
No.
At any point did you arrive on a scene where Michael Shaver had been shot?
I say what?
At any point, did you arrive at the Shaver residence or any other place where Michael Shaver had been shot?
No.
At any point, were you involved with any sort of altercation with Michael Shaver?
No.
At any point, did you shoot or injure Michael Shaver?
No.
At any point, were you involved with disposing of the body of Michael Shaver?
No.
And after the affair was exposed, what happened with your relationship with Laurie?
I cut it off.
Nothing further, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Wiggs?
Yes, may it please the court.
Yes, sir.
Let's go back to the original part of your testimony, Mr. Townsend. You represented, you had tension with the wife, and you broke up with
I
her.
didn't break up.
Well, you weren't seeing her, right? You were just sleeping with her?
With who?
Your wife.
Say it again?
You were still living in your marital residence, correct?
Yes.
And you stated earlier y'all were having problems, the two of you, correct?
Yes.
So you guys are having problems, and you're cheating on your wife, correct?
Yes.
And at the same time, you said, but I don't want to end the relationship, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And so you stated that you go over to Laurie's about 1 to 3 times a week, correct?
Correct.
And what time would that be?
11 to 12?
Okay. Never any earlier, correct?
Correct.
In fact, you went over there more than 1 or 3 times a week, correct?
No.
In fact, you got Laurie pregnant, did you not?
No.
You stated that you never spent the night there, correct?
Correct.
So, if anybody were to testify they saw you spending the night there, you know where that may be coming from? Somebody look like you know?
I would not know who would say I stayed the night there because I never
Okay.
stayed the night there.
You ever represent to Laurie you'd protect her from Michael? That you were a military guy and had special training?
Not in that sense, no.
That you were in black ops?
No.
Okay. Your position, we've heard on your direct examination, that you met her in September of 2015, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Have you ever made a statement inconsistent with that?
Not that I'm aware.
Not that you're aware of, okay? I'm going to show you your deposition, page 5, beginning on line 11 through 12. I want you to read that to yourself.
What line?
11 through 12. Does that refresh your recollection?
Hang on. It just goes on to say how I met her.
Now, I asked you, have you made a statement inconsistent with that September of 2015 date? In fact, on line 11, you state, I met her in the park. I don't know when. I mean, it was a long time ago. Correct? That was your statement earlier in time, correct?
Correct.
Now, we're at trial years later, and you've got it pinpointed to a particular month and year, correct?
I don't have to pinpoint it.
You did. On your direct examination, you said September of 2015, correct?
As I went back,
Sir, did you not say on direct examination September 2015?
correct.
Did you not? earlier you're telling me, I don't remember when. Correct?
Correct?
Okay. In fact, you went to the house, spent Christmas with the Shavers, did you not?
No.
If anybody were to take the stand and say otherwise, do you have any idea why they may be mistaken about that fact?
I was there before Christmas, but I did not go there and spend Christmas with the Shavers.
Well, how long were you before Christmas?
I was there the first 2 weeks. Kids got out of school for Christmas break, and I was home with my family.
Okay. So how long did you spend during that time period around Christmas with the Shavers?
The first 2 weeks of December 2015.
Ever go shopping with the Shavers?
No.
Since Laurie, since you went back to your wife, excuse me,
I didn't leave my wife.
well, you were over there with Miss Shaver having an affair, were you not?
Correct?
I wouldn't say that's gainfully spending time with your wife, is it? Sir?
No.
And when you went back to your wife, is it not a fact you continued to follow Laurie?
No.
Never met her in a store?
No.
Never pulled up to her next to the light?
No.
Never drove by her house?
No.
Okay. So you testified you were in the military, I think, between 2000 or 1999 through 2003, correct?
1998.
98, okay. And 2003, correct?
Correct.
And you suffered this injury,
Mhm.
correct? Have you worked at all since then? Nursery?
I did work.
Okay. And you're receiving government aid and assistance, correct?
Yes.
Did you tell the government about that? You're working?
Objection, Your
I-
Honor.
Relevance?
Overruled. Answer the question, please.
Did you tell the government about that?
I didn't have a retirement at that time when I first got out.
Okay. So when you got retirement later, then you became more ill or something?
Yes.
Okay. Are you working today?
No.
I'd asked you earlier if you were in special ops or a sniper, I believe, correct?
Correct?
Okay. Do you ever represent anybody that you were?
Not that I'm aware.
Okay. I'm going to show you your deposition. Page 8. Line 25. I want you to read that to yourself. My question again, did you ever make a representation to anybody that you were in special ops? Reading your deposition, does that refresh you?
It states that I didn't
Sir,
represent
I asked you
myself.
that question, does that refresh your recollection?
Objection, Your Honor. He was trying to answer the question.
No, I asked him if that refreshed his
Please
recollection.
re-ask the question and please answer directly.
You read your answer, correct?
Correct. It
My
says I
question to
don't.
you is just this. Did that refresh your recollection whether or not you ever made that representation?
And I stated it says I didn't.
You represented, no, I said, no, question, no, I said to anybody, that I don't know. That I don't know, correct?
And I
So
just
were you going around telling people, Mr. Townsend, you'd been special ops?
I was not saying I was special ops.
Okay. Did you ever tell Laurie again that you'd protect her from Michael?
No.
Okay. You had discussed with Laurie about getting a divorce, correct?
I said me and my wife were in a bad spot and we had talked about a divorce.
Now, Laurie wouldn't be satisfied with that explanation, would she? She'd want a little more from you than that, correct?
Correct?
Okay. So you had to broach this topic, make some representation that you guys were going to be an item in some fashion, correct?
No.
Okay. Laurie was content with you saying, well, I'm going to stay with the wife, I'm just over here having some fun?
The agreement in the beginning was
Sir, is that what the relationship was?
Your Honor, just to let him answer his question.
No, not the question, what I'm asking about.
Can we approach?
Come on up for a sidebar, please. Thank you.
Mr. Townsend, you were describing the relationship you had with Laurie. You're having this affair with her, correct?
correct.
Okay. Tell us about this relationship. What your understanding was with Laurie Shaver.
They're supposed to be friends with benefits, no strings attached.
Friends with benefits. Okay? And yet you're still contemplating a divorce at that time, correct?
Correct?
Okay, so there was a discussion.
A discussion about what?
Now, your position is you had no knowledge of Michael Shaver being shot, correct?
Correct.
Okay. You weren't in the house, correct?
Correct.
Now, you knew the Shaver children, correct?
I didn't know them, like, on a personal basis. I knew she had children. I only seen them a handful of times.
Okay. A handful of times. You're there 2-3 times a week, okay?
The kids were in school.
Now, you're there at their Christmas break, correct?
The kids were not there. They're in school.
Okay, during their Christmas break.
I wasn't there during Christmas break.
When was Michael shot?
I don't know that.
Okay? Did you ever make a statement indicating to the contrary? I'm going to show you your deposition again, sir.
I know what I told you.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Page 16, I want you to read line 3 through 7 to yourself.
Yeah.
Finished?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Your position was, I have no evidence that I was nowhere near during the time frame or whatever happened to Michael. So now you're saying, I don't know when he was shot, but I know I wasn't around there during that time frame.
Correct.
Correct? So you're saying, I don't know when this man shot, but you can't pin it on me.
But if you read farther, I said that
Is that what you just said?
Your Honor, objection. I'm trying to answer the question.
No, you can rehabilitate your own
Oh,
witness.
all right, and Mr. Wiggs is correct. So please answer the question directly, and that's it. Once the question's asked, answer it directly, and then move on. Thank you.
Right? So you don't know when he was killed, but you're saying you can't pin it on me. I was nowhere around without knowledge when he was killed. Correct, sir? That's what you stated in your deposition.
no, it's not.
I just read it to you. You just read it yourself,
But like I said, if you read farther,
sir. That's what you said, right?
Your Honor, can we approach with the transcript?
Sidebar, please.
Did the state advise you of a date that Michael Shaver was shot?
no.
Okay. One moment, please, Judge.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Townsend, did you get a tattoo in 2016?
No, I did not.
Do you have any tattoos at all?
I do.
Okay, would you describe them?
It's an Indian dress chief with a compass and a map,
Anything else?
roses.
You ever roses? Tell me about that one.
The roses are in the tattoo.
Okay, what's the full tattoo?
I just described it.
Pardon me, speak up.
I just described it.
You said it's roses in a tattoo. What's the full tattoo?
It's an Indian chief with a map and a compass.
Okay. Did you see Miss Shaver at the store in 2016 approach her to show her your new tattoo?
No,
Okay. You never did that, correct? Okay. One moment, please. Mr. Townsend, your family own any property in Silver Springs area?
no,
Okay, do you have parents in Ocala?
no.
Okay, you have any parents in the state of Florida?
Yes, I do.
Where do they reside?
Crystal River.
Crystal River, okay? They own any land?
That their house is on,
Yeah. How much land?
5 acres.
Okay. All right. That's all I have. Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. State?
Getting back to the, whether or not you've made a prior inconsistent statement about knowing when Michael Shaver was killed, let me show you your deposition transcript. And can you just go ahead and
Judge, that's improper rehabilitation.
Sustained, please ask the question. If the question isn't asked properly, then you can approach the witness with the deposition. Please inquire.
did you, in that deposition, tell Mr. Wiggs repeatedly that you do not know when Michael Shaver was killed?
Correct.
And that statement that Mr. Wiggs was reading about, I have evidence that I was nowhere near during the time frame or whatever happened to Michael Shaver, did you say at least 4 times after that that you did not know when he was shot?
Correct.
As far as September, your memory about when you first met Ms. Shaver at deposition, you said you didn't remember, and today you said that you first met her in the park in September of 2015. So what happened in between the deposition and today that helped with your memory?
Went back through all the old text messages to refresh my memory, because this is 9 going on almost 10 years ago. I don't remember everything I did during that period of time. So to refresh myself, if I was asked that question, I would know how to answer it. So I went back through all the old text messages and figured out when I seen Miss Shaver.
Nothing further, Judge.
All right, thank you. Mr. Wiggs?
Nothing further. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. And may the witness be released from his subpoena.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you for testifying today, sir. You're released from further testimony. Have a good day. Yes, sir.